During the Great Depression, most American families lost savings, farms, and businesses built over generations. Amish communities in Pennsylvania lost almost nothing. Not because they were wealthy, because the way they handled money made them nearly impossible to ruin. 30 of those habits survive intact today, and every one is more relevant to the average household right now than at any point in the last 50 years. My grandfather kept a ledger. Not a bank account, a ledger. Every cent that came into the household and every cent that left, it was written down in a cloth-covered book he kept on the kitchen shelf. When I found it after he passed, I sat with it for a long time, reading entries from the 1930s. What struck me was not the small amounts. It was the precision. Nothing was estimated. Nothing was rounded. He knew exactly what a dozen eggs sold for on a Tuesday in March of 1934, and exactly what a pound of flour cost the following Thursday, and exactly how many weeks of flour that single sale would purchase. That kind of precision about money is not instinctive. It is taught, practiced, and kept, because the people who kept it understood that not knowing was a form of poverty before the actual poverty arrived. Number 1, write down every transaction. Not monthly, not weekly. Every one. The act of writing converts a spending impulse into a considered decision and produces a record that shows patterns invisible to memory. Amish households have maintained written household ledgers as a standard practice for as long as there have been Amish households. Number 2, never spend money you do not have. The Amish prohibition on consumer debt is not a religious rule that happens to produce financial stability. It is a survival mechanism that was already proven by the time the Depression arrived. Families who owned no debt could not be dispossessed for failing to pay it. Families who had borrowed against their farms, their equipment, and their homes lost everything when the value of those things fell below what they owed. Number 3, build the thing you can build before buying the thing you can buy. An Amish household that needs a piece of furniture builds it. A household that needs a tool makes it if possible, or buys secondhand if not. The skill to build is itself an asset that cannot be repossessed. Number 4, repair before replacing. Every item is repaired to the limit of what repair can accomplish before replacement is considered. This applies to tools, clothing, buildings, vehicles, and equipment. The habit of repair is a financial habit. It is also a skill that atrophies immediately when it stops being practiced. Number 5, share tools with neighbors. No single household owns every tool it might occasionally need. Amish neighbors share equipment for tasks that arise rarely, reducing the capital each household needs to hold in physical assets. In modern terms, this is the library model applied to hardware. Number 6, produce before purchasing. Whatever a household can grow, raise, ferment, preserve, or make is produced before the equivalent is purchased. The household that produces its own food, soap, clothing, fuel, and building materials has a much shorter list of things that require cash income to acquire. Number 7, maintain 3 months of provisions at all times, not for emergencies. As a normal operating condition, a household with 3 months of food, fuel, and basic supplies can absorb income disruptions, price spikes, and supply shortages without a crisis. During the Depression, Amish households that maintained deep pantries never went hungry, regardless of what happened to cash income or credit. Number 8, know the actual cost of everything you buy repeatedly, not approximately. Exactly. The price of flour per pound, the cost of kerosene per gallon, the price of feed per bushel. When you know these numbers precisely, price increases are immediately visible and can be responded to. Number 9, pay cash or do not buy. The price of any item paid for with borrowed money is higher than its ticket price by the full cost of the credit used to purchase it. Amish households calculate the true cash cost of everything before deciding whether to buy. Number 10, fix the roof when the weather is good. Preventive maintenance done when nothing is failing costs a fraction of emergency repair done when something has already failed. The habit of addressing small problems while they are small is itself a significant financial habit. Number 11, never waste food. Every meal produces scraps that become stock, compost, or animal feed. Every leftover becomes the next meal's base. An Amish household in the 1930s had essentially no food waste, not because they were disciplined about it, but because the idea of throwing food away was genuinely inconceivable given what food represented in terms of labor and resource. Number 12, barter skill and labor before spending cash. Cash is the last resort, not the first. The network of skill exchange within a community is itself a form of currency that cannot be inflated away. Number 13, build community before you need it. The Amish mutual aid system, where the community funds barn raisings, medical emergencies, and crop losses for individual households, exists because it was built over generations before any individual crisis arrived. A community that comes together only in crisis has already failed at the thing that makes crisis survivable. Number 14, separate needs from wants with precision. An Amish household does not ask whether it wants something. It asks whether the household would genuinely fail to function without it. The bar for a need is very high. Almost everything that modern marketing presents as a need fails this test. Number 15. Save a fixed percentage of every income before spending any of it, not what is left over. A fixed amount removed before the spending begins. This was standard Amish financial practice before it became standard personal finance advice, and it works for the same reason in both contexts. What is not available cannot be spent. Number 16. Teach children the value of money through work, not allowance. Amish children earn what they receive through work that contributes to the household. The connection between labor and money is a practical reality learned in childhood, not an abstract concept explained in adulthood. Number 17. Own your home before you furnish it. No debt on the primary residence before the interior is equipped. The Amish tradition of building a home within the community's collective labor, owned outright from the first day, means that a family shelter is never at risk from financial disruption. Number 18. Buy quality once rather than cheaply repeatedly. The cheaper version of most tools and materials costs more over a decade than the quality version bought once. Amish households have always understood that the cost of a purchase is what it costs over its entire useful life, not what it costs on the day of purchase. Number 19. Keep a list of what you are waiting to buy. Items needed but not urgently are written down and waited for. They may appear secondhand, through trade, or through a better price in a different season. The list converts impulsive purchasing into deliberate purchasing. Number 20. Do not discuss money outside the household. Not from secrecy, but from discipline. Public discussion of personal finances invites comparison, competition, and social pressure to spend in ways that serve appearance rather than need. Amish financial privacy is a community norm that protects individual households from the spending escalation that comes from knowing what neighbors own. Number 21. Heat the room you are in, not the house. One room heated to comfort while the rest stays cooler. The fuel cost of heating an entire structure uniformly is a modern expectation, not a historical one. A household that heats selectively uses a fraction of the fuel. Number 22. Use everything twice. Cooking water becomes stock. Vegetable trimmings become compost. Paper bags become fire starters. Nothing exits the household in one use if a second use is available. Number 23. Grow relationships with suppliers, not just transactions. The Amish farmer who has sold to the same buyer for 20 years has preferential pricing and resilience in lean times that the farmer who sells to whoever is buying on a given day does not. Number 24. Do not upgrade what is working. The working tool, the working vehicle, the working appliance is kept and maintained until it fails rather than replaced because a newer version is available. The impulse to upgrade is a modern commercial invention. The economic case for it almost never survives scrutiny. Number 25. Know the difference between an investment and an expense. An investment produces returns over time. An expense produces consumption and is gone. Modern consumer culture actively works to blur this distinction. Amish households have always kept it precise. Number 26. Keep debt for land only, if at all. If credit is ever used, it is used only for productive land that will generate returns exceeding the cost of the credit. Consumer goods, vehicles, and lifestyle expenses are never financed. The rule is simple, and the discipline required to keep it is the entire point. Number 27. Plan the year before it begins. Expected income, expenses, and needs mapped before January arrives. Surprises within the year are then genuine surprises rather than failures of planning. Number 28. Work hard when work is available. The Amish understanding of labor is seasonal. Full effort when conditions allow. Rest when they do not. The modern expectation of uniform productivity year-round is both physically taxing and economically inefficient. Number 29. Give generously within the community and nowhere else. Amish generosity is directed precisely at neighbors in genuine need. It is not diffused across organizations with no reciprocal relationship with the giver. The return on targeted community generosity is concrete and visible. Number 30. Measure wealth and security, not possessions. The definition of financial success in Amish communities is not what a household owns, but how long it could sustain itself if income stopped tomorrow. A household with 3 years of provisions, no debt, own tools, and community reciprocal relationships is wealthy by this measure regardless of what it looks like from the road. Here's the honest thing about this list. None of these 30 habits require being Amish, living on a farm, or having a large community around you. Every one of them can be practiced in a city apartment or a suburban house. What they require is a decision to treat money as a tool for security rather than a tool for signaling, and to make that decision before financial pressure forces it rather than after. The families who made that decision in 1928 were the ones who looked essentially unchanged in 1935. The ones who made it in 1932 had considerably fewer options. Subscribe because the next video covers 25 meals that Amish families made during the Depression years that kept large families fed on almost nothing, and several of them are things you could make from what is in your pantry right now. Tell me in the comments which of these 30 you already practice, and which one you think would be hardest to implement in your current life, because the answers tell me exactly where to go deeper.